Hello and welcome to another episode of Who Knew in the Moment, the podcast. I'm your host, Phil Friedrich, and today I'm honored to have Lamar Jackson with me. Lamar is an NFL football player for the Atlanta Falcons, and one of the things I think you're going to hear about his journey is how if you're willing to step into unknown and maybe uncomfortable environments, great things can happen. So, Lamar, thanks so much for being on the show today.
Nah, thank you for having me.
Well, to start your journey, we'll start in California is where you grew up. So talk a little about, falling in love or getting started with football and growing up in California.
Yes, California kid, Northern California to be exact, Sacramento. Just growing up early, father wasn't really around, didn't have a big male presence. So to be honest, mom used football for like my discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, a little ADHD, bouncing from wall to wall, just crazy little kid, oldest of five. So early on, mom had me at 18. So of course she was still learning and all that good stuff. We were growing up together. But more of the story, she used sports in general for like my discipline. Like anything I did at home, anytime I was being a knucklehead, she took me to practice and she basically snitched on me, quote unquote, and they worked me, they ran me, my earlier years, like I just remember like, Mom, get your money back. I hate this. Like just crying, it was almost like torture. Well, I felt that way
Yeah.
until like it was just one of them, but as a kid, you ain't really got no say so for real. So every summer I just knew where I was gonna be. Every summer I just knew what it was. So it was one of the things that like I did it over time. Mind you, like me personally, like I feel like for example, my kid, I won't let make him play until probably 8 to 10. Like I was playing at 5. So just imagine just the effect it had on me. Like football was not fun putting a helmet on, putting pads on at 5 years old, running in the heat. But at the end of the day, it did what it needed to do. In terms of just wear me out. I was
Yeah.
coming home every night, dinner in bed, dinner in bed, and I realized that was kind of the secret sauce of why my mom even wanted me to play ball. It wasn't even necessarily like, oh, my son's gonna be this or that. It's just like, no, tire this guy out, so yeah, so he can come home and go to sleep. But long story short, I played since I was 5 all the way up until now, 27. So this has been my life for as long as I know it. Obviously, as I went and we progressed through it. Everything just became a little bit more real. Early on, like since I did play so young, and I also didn't have like crazy father figures. It was never like we're going to do this, we're going to do this. You're going to college, you're going to the NFL. And it's
Yeah.
funny because like just growing up, like I never even dreamed to go to the NFL. Like I really was just where my feet were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just this is what I do. This is where all my friends is. These are my coaches. And that's what it was. Until it wasn't. But yeah, other than that, like football in general has been that's what pretty much gave me the layers of like that I have now. It just allowed me to experience more things that I can even imagine for myself, which is why I'm forever in debt to the game and I love this game and I never say this game never did anything for me because it really did everything for me. It took me out of Sacramento, like before growing up, like I say, all the way little league, high school, never got on a plane, never left Sacramento. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like real box mindset. Like I didn't really see far, and then obviously like once I started getting scholarships around like my sophomore junior year, everything became a little bit more real. People start taking a liking into me. I always was a good kid, just a knucklehead, but good kid. Everybody loved me, but I was always trying to find the gray areas and things and stuff like that. But yeah, long story short, once I started getting offers and stuff like that, kind of getting national attention, like people start pouring into me. You can do this, you can do that, you can do this. I start taking visits, I start going to camps and stuff like that. And then that's kind of where it all started in terms of like, we might be able to do something with this football thing, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, like yeah, football literally just took its course and I just been kind of riding the wave since 5 years old for real, you can say.
I love it. So to talk about that, in high school, you played both cornerback and quarterback, and
Mhm.
you had a lot of great success there. So talk a little about, as you started pursuing colleges and as you started getting recruiting, how you end up deciding to go the defensive route instead of the offensive route.
That's funny because like even growing up, always offensive mind. Still to this day, I feel like that's why I can be have success at like to be a big corner.
Yeah.
Like because I got the finesse, I got the wiggle, I got the sticks. Like because it's all I got an offensive background. Like it
Right.
was always offense, offense, offense. And it was actually funny because like with the things that I love about defense is like all the things that like at one point I was scared of,
Yeah.
like the main reason why I wanted to play quarterback, the main reason why I wanted to be on offense is one, I want to score. I want to hear my name a lot. I want the ball. All those good things. I want to make people miss. But in terms of defense, like you can say I used to duck the smoke, like I'm not trying to hit, I'm
Yeah.
not finna crash out. Like, mind you, never really had concussions, none of that shit, mainly because I was, you can say, making business decisions forever.
Yeah.
Just I was never willing to just go crash or they saw you like you you acting soft, and blah blah blah. But like mind you, I'm always like, bro, I don't care. I'm gonna play quarterback. I'm playing quarterback. Quarterbacks ain't gotta do none of that physical shit. I'm playing quarterback. So growing up, played quarterback and I had success. Like even early on, like freshman, sophomore year, like literally went from little league to varsity quarterback my sophomore year. And
Wow.
Cam Newton, Mike Vick, like those are my guys. Like them was like Cam was my biggest like inspiration, like through like you can say early middle school, early high school. Like I wanted to be Cam Newton, Cam
Yeah.
Newton. And then it came RG3. And then I'm like RG3 is the coldest, you know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
those were the guys I was trying to take their little game, like take little pieces from their game and try to be like them, dress like them. And I was doing it well, you know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, obviously, like I'm showing all types of athleticism and things that I can do. So it really started with just like playing quarterback. Really didn't want to make the switch, and honestly, I remember the day like it was yesterday when like Boise State came to my high school practice and pretty much was like, we want to see him at corner.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And my high school coach kind of brought it to my attention, and I'm feeling like he's trying me because I'm like, what do you mean he wants to see me at corner? Like, obviously, I play quarterback and I'm the best on the team. What do you mean he
Yeah.
wants to see me at corner? And like, obviously, like it was hard for me at first to like digest it, but like then again, it's like he's trying to tell me like they just want to get a look, blah blah blah. And then now we're talking college. This is like real now. I'm like, okay, well, it's if they wanted to see it, I'll give it to them. But in my heart, I'm a quarterback. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I ain't gonna sit and act like it was just something that I was willing to do and ready to do. But more of the story, I probably a week later, I played my like we had another game and I played some corner. First game, two picks, interceptions, like literally two picks first game at corner. And then on top of like when originally like when I played when they switched me, they also stopped letting me play quarterback. So I went from quarterback like it wasn't really quarterback corner. It was
Yeah.
quarterback. I start playing corner. Now I'm playing receiver. Now I'm playing running back. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm playing
Yeah.
everything but quarterback on offense. So like it all just kind of felt like I don't know. Like, are they
Yeah.
trying me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but long story short, after that game at corner and I got them two interceptions, bro, I promise you the next week I got an offer. And then once I got an offer, like I'm in Sacramento, we have a thing called DB Select, and like we pretty much push DBs, promote DBs, train DBs, and like we like to think we're the DB factory. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I was kind of already associated with this group, so like in terms of me making the transition, I had the right people to help me do it.
Yeah.
So like all my guys, all my good friends, all y'all play DB. Got a couple receivers, but most of them DBs. You know what I'm saying? So like in terms of just us competing and how we trained and how we grind, like it kind of just was a match made in heaven. All my dudes, homies play DBs. My trainer was a DB in the NFL, blah blah blah. So like I'm like fuck it. And then on top of they're telling me like you can be Richard Sherman, you can be this, you're gonna be a big
Yeah.
DB. This is what they want now, blah blah blah. So now they're just telling me all these things, and I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm playing DB. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So then I start locking in on my defensive work, training, trying to make it look good, trying to get right. But mind you, this was all kind of new to me. Luckily, I was athletic enough to kind of just, and had a lot of God given ability to where I can kind of, finesse it a little bit and still make it look decent. But like even now, I watch my stuff from back then and I just be like, bro, shit's gross. Like, shit was like I get almost like I'm not gonna say it's embarrassing, but it's just like I'm not proud of it. It
Yeah.
got me to where I am, but like I'm not proud of it. But at the same time, full circle moment, like it was just raw. It was just all raw ability, just me trying to get it done. But at the same time, due to high school, I went to all these training camps. I mean, these camps, rivals, all star, like the all star games, little 5-star challenges. But I was doing corner, 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 corner. Ended up working my way all the way up to number one safety in the country. By the time it was done, with still not really being satisfied with like what I'm doing. It's just more
Yeah.
about a potential. Potential. They can see the upside. Blah blah blah. But I ended up working all the way up to the top of my ranks in my position in my class. So, like I said, I never looked back since. But it all started with just a coach coming in talking about he wanted to see me at corner, and then that's kind of what made me pivot. And then even like going through the process of like getting recruited, everybody was pretty much telling me you can play whatever you want, like
Yeah.
literally. But like once again, I had all these people pouring into me, telling me what I can do at corner, like in terms of my trainers and my guys and shit. So it got to the point where like as I start making a decision, I'm telling them like I'm playing DB. I'm playing DB. I'm playing DB. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because a lot of schools just trying to get me there. Like you can do whatever. You can play whatever. Athlete. I started. I was a athlete rank to DB rank to like it kind of just bounced around. But like I'm the one that kind of stood there and like I start kind of filtering my process through like who wanted me to play corner, then like who they got there and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
just knew I wanted to play corner when it was all said and done. And yeah, that's kind of what it was. Like even like the schools that wanted me to play like safety or even that's why I didn't go to the Pac-12, truthfully.
Yeah.
I was already big. I'm 6'2", 190, 185 or whatever coming out of high school. And I'm just knowing like, bro, I'm gonna go to one of these Pac-12 schools and be the biggest one on the defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's just like I'm not, and I already knew that. I already kind of figured. Like I know how quick they'll try to swap your spot or your position.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta go to the Big Ten. I gotta go play where they bigger at, you know. So I ain't out there just looking just huge, you know. I can at least go play on the outside and be comfortable on the outside, and it worked out. And Nebraska was one of them schools, pretty much. Mind you, Nebraska's a wild card.
Yeah.
There were not to just keep running on, but like I said, the whole process in my whole life is just hilarious. But like Nebraska wasn't even in the top 10 originally. I was still gonna go try to go to Big Ten, like in terms of like a Michigan or something, or even like I considered a few SEC schools.
Yeah.
But one thing about me and the SEC is like on the West Coast, we just politics. They always used to just kind of just shit on the SEC in terms of just politics. Like they don't like us. They don't do this. Like like we're not going down there. So like I kind of didn't really give it a good look, but at the same time, like I was going to try to go play in one of these bigger body conferences. So long story short, Coach Keith Williams at the time was from Stockton. He coached one of my high school coaches at the time. So like they're all kind of just like I say relationship things. He was at Nebraska. I done took a couple of my visits. I had one more official visit. They called at the right time, like tell Lamar to come see us, blah blah blah. Off my coach strength, I'm like, I'll take a visit. You know what I'm saying? He's like, bro, Dub gonna take care of you. He's a good guy, blah blah blah. Just go check him out. So I took my last visit to I'm not my last official to Nebraska, and it knocked my socks off for
Mhm.
real. Like in every way, you know what I'm saying? Just in terms of just seeing like the love for the game and like the game I went to was the Michigan State Nebraska game when B Riley went out of bounds, came in, scored the touchdown, and won the game on some late shit.
Yeah.
So I chose a great game to go to as well. But in terms of just like the overall just feeling and like how I felt in the moment of being in Memorial Stadium and shit like that, it was just like it stuck with me and it was like was different than everything I felt anywhere else, you know. Um and like I say, by the end of my trip, bro, I literally told Riley and them like if y'all can get my mom on board, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I say, they're not knowing I'm running from the Pac-12.
Right.
But like
Right.
in all reality, I'm like, yeah, if y'all get my mom on board, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? But like in all reality, I want to be in the Big Ten anyway. And then on top of just seeing like I'm walking through Lamar, throwing up the bones, you know, it's just shit that like as a young boy, you know what I'm saying, being from Sacramento and really never leaving Sacramento, like this shit was insane to me. I'm like, bro, they
Yeah.
love football. Like I didn't got thousands of followers, you know, just I knew I was nice, but they made me feel extra nice. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like more of the story, like I say, on top of just the great people and just the great energy, and the opportunity to come play right away. I feel like it was a no brainer. Obviously, like that's what I went off of right there. So
Yeah.
it was a no brainer. But yeah, to be honest, bro, it was really just all me. I made the decision. And I stuck there, I stayed there, I graduated from there, and then I got to the league. But that was kind of the journey in terms of just getting to Nebraska.
Well, so with your time in Nebraska, once again, you come from being a top ranked player to showing up to a program that has great history, but just at that point in time, was not having great success in regards to being top of the conference. But by sophomore year, you start all 12 games that season. So talk a little bit about your progression. Going from being a great high school player to now being in one of the top two or three conferences, however you rank them and being a key part of the defense pretty much right off the bat.
I mean, to be honest, like looking back, a red shirt year would did me justice.
Yeah,
Because, like you say, sophomore year is when I kind of really got my, got some my wings. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
freshman year was kind of really just dipping my toe in, but really not confident and really not really good. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously like just due to how I got there, they was putting me out there, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But like I like to say like crashing me. But really, you know what I'm saying? I was out there and I held my own for the most part, but at the same time it's nothing I'm proud of. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do nothing great. I didn't like my movements. Like it was real raw. Once again, I was highly ranked in my position due to just potential and just, what I high school. High school obviously is college is a step above high school for sure in terms of just competition and even like the magnitude of like playing. Like
yeah,
it means something to be out there. Like you can't just go out there and give up shit or take plays off or, not tackle and shit like that. And those are all things that like obviously like I had to go through and kind of struggle at. to really just put my head down and work. Like I say, for the longest, I was God given. I was just like on a natural high. Like this shit is easy
Yeah.
until it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Until I started to struggle a little bit and I started realizing, okay, motherfuckers are actually good. Maybe I'm looking at my tape like, damn, that shit's weak. So like one thing about me is like I always wanted to be the best. I always feel like I was the best. Always just I'm just a grinder. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ducking
Yeah.
nothing. And I'm not, and I'm also not gonna act like I'm real with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I can sit here and confidently say that shit was ass or what I was doing from all the way up to my freshman year, sophomore year, really all the way up to my senior year is when I really kind of was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And now today, oh yeah, I'm like that,
Yeah.
today at 27 though.
Yep.
But for like prior years, bro, it's been trying to get to this point, you know what I'm saying? And that's why like I just truly believe in just like process and just how everything has to happen for a reason, just because of like where I am today. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I just know without the struggle, without the ups and downs, without the just not feeling good about the play, I wouldn't even been able to get to where I'm at. And
Right.
even like to kind of just take it a little further, like the getting cuts, the falling shorts, the just going undrafted, like these are all moments, like I say, where you got to make a decision. And it's either you can sit here and be blame the world or be pissy about it, or you can sit there and go to work and be like, I'm gonna win regardless. And I'm just one of them dudes that like, I'm really like I love me and I'm always bet on myself, and I just know what I'm capable of. Like I didn't play at the top level for a while, been at the top of the room for a while. So like at the same time, I just know like what's out there and like what it's supposed to look like and what it's supposed to be. And I like to say I size up to anybody, you know what I'm saying, to the best of them. So it's just
Yep.
like that's always been my power and my confidence to just continue to work because I believe I can be the best. I can believe I can be one of the best, and I believe like the ones that are the best aren't the best. So it's
Yeah.
just like, it's just how I'm wired. You know what I'm saying? I'm always just trying to go get something. You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of my superpower in terms of just how I work. I'm always looking for, an inch, 1%, whatever, a gym, anything that's gonna make me great. And that's really just one of the things that I bought into, and just that's really just how I move and how I live my life. And I feel like that's why I am where I am today. Just because the way I'm wired and how I treat people and how I go about my work, and just it means something to me. And not only just because, not just for me, it's just like I want to show everybody else that nigga, yeah, you need to keep working too. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to, any chance I'm getting, I'm trying to make a point or be felt or heard, whatever. But like I'm too good to not move like that if you ask me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that. Now, for
Hmm.
you, one of the pieces of, adversity, obstacle you had to go through was in college, coaching changes. And, I always think that can be hard when you say, gosh, I've been, learning one style, or I've been playing for, one personality. And then all of a sudden there's new personalities, training, coaching a guy. So talk a little bit about that, coaching transition for you late in your career there.
That's actually crazy because we would never knew that this was preparing me for my NFL career.
Yeah, right.
I played for a new coach every season,
Yep.
a new defense every season. So and it's kind of the same story. But
Yeah.
wow, I'm looking at me. Am I the loser? Is it me? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
I can't. That's just not fair to me. That's myself. It's a team sport. But
Yep.
like more of the story, bro, is losing. You know what I'm saying? Losing, when you lose, there's change. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So like I had to learn that. The only reason why I didn't leave Nebraska is because I was on a straight line to the league. In my mind, I'm always like, bro, I originally wanted to do three and out. Like I say, I've always seen myself as some great, like early, even when I was
Yeah.
weak. I'm like, I'm first to gotta get to league. And at the time, obviously the transfer portal and things wasn't really alive and going. So like I knew I was gonna have to sit out if I transferred.
Yep.
I knew like regardless there's gonna be change, regardless there's gonna be, it's gonna be some like a step back, just trying to really get back to where I wanted to be. And in my mind, I'm just like, bro, I'm the best DB here. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter what coach coming here. And that was kind of another thing that kind of made it a little rough for me, like early on, is just the pure fact that motherfuckers was coming in trying to, establish the culture or point out the problems or make for example, me personally, act like my seat was on fire.
Yeah.
So any chance I got, and that once again, now you know a little bit how I'm wired and how I think. Like all those moments was moments for me to really drop my nuts,
Yeah.
and be like, try it if you want to. I'm gonna be at the top of the room one way or another.
Right.
But to be honest, like when the coach came in and shit like that, I was like I said, once again, I was always a good guy, but narratives and labels and shit like that stick. So it's just like how you treat people and everything like that, and what you do on the day to day. Obviously, like those things carry over regardless of the coaches, regardless of whatever. So like it was a whole bunch of just narratives shit like that like I had to really just it's really just new shit. So like everybody is like getting a scouting report. Okay, boom, this
Yep.
player's this player's that, this player's that, boom, boom. But nobody really knows nobody, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just like a whole lot of things that we had to just work through and just, figure out and really get to know each other. And but more of the story, like I say, the reason why I didn't transfer is because I felt like I was always gonna win.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was in a good spot. Like, and like I said, they used to come in there and push me. Every recruiting class, whoever come in, blah blah blah. Yeah, this person come for your spot, blah blah, whatever.
Yep.
Try to generate some shit any way they can. But once again, me and God, I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
like that's kind of what it was. Like at the end of the day, I always was a little too good to be denied.
I love it.
Regardless of what they wanted to say or how they wanted to cut it. I was just a little too good to be denied. And like I say, I'm just happy I stuck there. I'm really happy I stayed there. Obviously, like besides Nebraska, besides the only regret in terms of my college career is just I didn't walk away with nothing. In terms of like hardware and winning anything. And
Yep.
obviously, as a competitor now, I know like winning's everything. At the time, I wasn't thinking about winning. At the time, I was thinking about me,
Yep.
and getting to the league. So like, other than that, like I wouldn't even care. I didn't even care about the losing. I didn't care about the change. I'm just like,
Yep.
y'all niggas got to get right. As long as Jack continue to do his shit, we're gonna be all right. And at
Yep.
the same time, though, but like even that, like niggas want to draft a winner. They want to grab a winner. They want somebody that's been a part of winning. So
Yep.
like I see like now like why that's even an issue. But at the time, young and just full of himself, I'm not thinking like that. I'm not caring if we win or lose. I wanted to win, but at the same time, you lose so much, you'd be like, fuck it, we're not gonna win. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yep.
So it just got like that, and obviously that's a horrible mindset. But like then again, with the change and with the losing, like I was always optimistic, but at the same time, I also knew I could only do so much.
Yep.
So like that's my only regret in terms of Nebraska is just really just the losing. But coaching and shit like that, like that happens. Now I know, like you can't like no one's coming to save you, bro. It's either y'all get it done or y'all don't. And especially like a place like Nebraska that's been trying to get back for over 20 years to
Right.
get back to dominance, like you can imagine, like there's no patience there.
Yep.
Like that's like you feel me. So like it all makes sense. Even in the league, like the league is rather than just trying to get back for 20 years, it's like no, this shit's worth too much money, and we pay too many people too good to be losing or to not be getting the job done. So it's just like when you lose, there's change. And more story. My first 2 years, I won 2 games. Everyone's fired. Next year, you know what I'm saying, won 4 games.
Yep.
I had to leave. Went to Chicago, won 4 or 5 games. You know what I'm saying? That regime's gone. Then went to Carolina, won 3 games or some shit. Like last year when I came to Atlanta, like late in the year, like this was the best record I had thus far. And we won
Yeah.
9 games. You know what I'm saying? So like we're getting a little closer. You know what I'm saying? So like in our reality, like you just want to be somewhere where like you're winning. If when
Yes.
you're winning, everyone lives good. Everyone's a little bit more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? But when you're losing, that's when it's just like everybody ass is tight. It's just
Yep.
you don't step wrong, what I'm saying? So it's just like it's not a good working environment, but at the same time, you also gotta just, lean on your faith and just, at the same time just control you. And I feel like you'll be all right. But yeah, that's pretty much that.
I love it. Now, for you, as your time at Nebraska wraps up, like you mentioned, hey, um, in a different dynamic, maybe there was more wins, there was more national attention on you, you would get drafted, but you end up going the undrafted route and you arrive with the Jets. So talk a little bit about, for you, kind of that, I don't know, I would imagine there was a little frustration on not getting drafted, but then using that as, excitement and encouragement to go out, work hard, and, make the most out of your time with the Jets.
I mean, the undrafted thing was probably my first like real heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like obviously high school, well, yeah, I'm talking about high school, but obviously college and shit like that, just being who I was, being good, you know what I'm saying, feeling like I was good. Like obviously like it started with like probably my junior year, and I seen guys like Stanley Morgan and shit go undrafted.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I was like, I had an epiphany. And I'm like, hold on, this shit's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like Stanley, you know what I'm saying? Then I started to realize, like, okay, this is where we fall short in Nebraska. Nebraska makes us all stars. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys is the guys are the guys. So just like in terms of love and just like expectations and shit, like we all kind of think we go through college and we like we the man, we the man, we the man, we the man. Not knowing like nigga, it's thousands and thousands of other athletes out here, thousands of the schools that's snapping, doing their thing, that you know what I'm saying, that's slotted ahead of you. Mind you,
Yeah.
like my whole undrafted shit was kind of weird. Like I said, I can only I take the blame for me going undrafted. Like, but like in terms of like just the thought process, like it probably would have been a lot worse if I didn't really see the guys like Stan and shit going drafted in terms of like what I did in college. Like my senior was probably my best years in terms of character, in terms of my approach, in terms of how I treated my teammates, in terms of how I treated my coaches, in
Yeah.
terms of everything. Defense MVP, Big Ten, second team, whatever. I had my best year. You know what I'm saying? When it mattered. And to be honest, if I'd have ran fast, I'd have fucking around got drafted anyway. But to this day, we don't know why I went undrafted. But like I like to think like I just really just didn't like, for example, my combine in my pro day. Un, I mean, let's just say undisciplined.
Yeah.
Just really, just once again, like I didn't finish my senior year, like I say, on an all-time high, feeling like I'm on top of the world, like I'm good. I'm looking at my projections and shit, and I'm like, okay, I'm sitting kind of pretty, you know. It ain't no way, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be all right. Mind is everywhere. Can't wait to spend some money that I don't even got. Just everything, just all the wrong shit, natural young guy shit, just
Yep.
coming out of college thinking he's about to change his life forever. But like, long story short, mine was on everything but except what it needed to be. And like I say, the whole even when I after my combine, after my pro day, I wasn't sad. I definitely knew like, damn, that wasn't a good representation of myself, you
Mm.
know.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I'm thinking like, nah, it could have been worse, or like,
Yeah. Right.
tape good, or like, I'm a big corner. Like I was almost
Yeah.
making excuses for myself, you know what I'm saying? Really just like trying to like make it make sense, knowing damn well like nigga, you should have did a little bit more, you should have prepared more, you should have had a better approach, you should have been a pro, you know what I'm saying? You should have handled it right. Like I said, once again, always trying to finesse or find a gray area early on. Like I say, I just knew like I'm off the couch, like come on, like right now, I tell the nigga right now, no stretching, you can't fuck with me. Like I'm that kind of retarded.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of like what it was. And it was just like I'm not saying I wasn't working, but like at the same time, I was probably still eating whatever, or I was probably still doing whatever, or like whatever. Even like the combine process, I'm walking around that bitch like it's not the biggest day of my life, like it's another day of my life.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Just little things like that, where it's
Yep.
just like full circle moment. I know, and I can never blame anyone but myself. And like
Yeah.
everybody said, like if you can go back right now and change anything, what you do? I'll go change my combine process. Put me right now, coming out of college, and let me go do it again. And I
Yep.
promise you, it'll be a totally different thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I say, I'll live and I stand on anything that I do as a man. But that's kind of just like what that was. Just mindset and approach just wasn't right. So obviously going in, like I remember like literally like teams calling me in the draft, like, yeah, if you my name was best available for like 3-4 rounds.
Yeah.
Like it was insane. And like to the point where I'm just like, bro, what is going on? Like and then like even like when I had my people over my house and stuff, and I remember like, bro, I got on the bike and I just drove off. Like left the garage, left everybody. Like eventually, like my brother and sister and them they came and found me. Like mom said, come back. I didn't hit the corner and I'm over there sitting on the box, like electrical box, crying and shit. Like, cause I just feel so embarrassed and just so let down and just like I really felt like it was over. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To be
Yeah.
honest, it wasn't even thinking like I'm not the fact like me not getting drafted was almost equivalent to me feeling like football's over, like the way I
Yeah.
was acting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like that's kind of like me looking back on it. That's what it was. It wasn't necessarily like, damn, I'm about to go undrafted. It was like, bro, these niggas like they tried me, like they played with me, like I'm fucked, like it's over. Like everything was kind of just exaggerated. I was stressing. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, they came and got me. Teams are calling me and shit. Like I'm at this point, bro. I'm so fucked up. I'm even talking crazy to the teams a little bit. Like they call me like, Lamar, if we fall out the draft, bro, call my agent. I don't know. Call my agent. I don't know. Boom. Like just on some like flustered. Just can't
Yeah.
believe it. And then they're calling me talking about if you fall out the draft. Like beat. Like I really want to just hang up on the ass every time.
Yeah.
So and that's what I'm saying. All this shit's still new to me and fresh to me. So I'm like, damn, what? And then even like so, boom. Eventually, I ended up falling out the draft. A few teams called me during the draft, like blah blah blah. I'm crying and shit, even though like my family ain't never dealt with no son going to the NFL, so they even kind of like, what's next? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is like, what's going on? So I already know like them was all conversations and shit that they don't know. So it's like I'm really trying to like go have them combos. Like I'm to my friends and shit is at the house, nigga. I'm literally telling them like I'm done with this shit. Like I really remember, mind you, it's emotion. Like it's all emotion. But like I remember really telling them like, bro, fuck this football shit. Like nigga, they got it. Like I don't care. Like I'm done. Like I was that hurt that like I'm and I don't want to play. Like literally, like I don't even want to play. And
Yeah.
then like when my agent came around and called me and shit, like he trying to give me the spill. I'm talking to him like, bro, what? Ooh, ooh. He's sitting there telling me like, you've been through worse. Like you're good, LJ. Relax, blah blah blah. And I'm on 10. I'm like, no, this shit is horrible. Fuck this. I don't give a fuck where we go. I'm even telling him, do your job. Like I'm just
Yeah.
snapping. Like it's just acting out of character, bro. And it's just like obviously like it's one of my low lights, but I couldn't. It was all raw emotion. I
Yeah.
couldn't help it, and like, but it did something to me. And obviously, like I say, I was still like I did what I did, and I had a good college career. Great senior year. Like my combine wasn't great, but it still wasn't horrible. So like everybody knew like we can get. How I look at it is they just get me for cheap. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
Like when it was all said and done, okay, I didn't for whatever reason and for all the reasons you can say everything. Fuck it, I'm undrafted, and they're getting me for cheap. So now I'm out for blood. Same
Yeah.
approach. Like yeah, they gotta feel me. They got So I approached my rookie year as such. Went in there, pissed hot. They also kind of, told me like I got a good opportunity there, and that's why we went to New York and all the good shit. And yeah, so I had a decent training camp, decent preseason, all this good shit. I was feeling good. Really positioned myself to where I was almost like I could have made the team, but we had a couple other guys and shit like that, but did good. Had a great training camp and everything. Was satisfied with a lot of the work I did that all season and everything. Really, like I say, just trying to get back. Like
Yo.
as I'm learning, I'm like, shit, nigga, this is what it is now. Undrafted, it's over with. The draft's over. Fuck that. I didn't get no money. Blah blah. Blah, it's COVID. All the shit. So like, now it's no more just like, now I didn't finally like I didn't settle down. I'm like, okay, I'm here. Blah blah. Let's go to work. I'm blessed. And everything like that. So like, I was able to have a great training camp. Literally like that. My rookie year off season was COVID. So like, we didn't do nothing. So like
Yeah.
I literally reported for training camp. So I went through the whole offseason as my rookie year by myself doing Zoom calls. And by training camp though, I was ready. Had a good training camp. I feel like ball, positioned myself right there in a good spot. At the course, I ended up not making the 53, which is another moment of just adrenaline. I remember them calling me like last day, like late, and I'm thinking I'm about to make it. We on the me and a couple of my dogs, and mind you, we both got called back to back. But I remember my boy, we sitting there like, damn. But I remember they calling me, and we get cut, and I'm filled with adrenaline, and I'm like ready to go in there and flip a table, like
Okay.
for net, like literally for nothing. And I don't even know why or how I feel. But once again, I just felt the same, just like ah, what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Just like like what, like, bro, literally wanted to like lose it. Like like what? What I'm saying? But more of the story, I go in there get cut, blah blah blah. They talking about like, Lamar, we want to sign you back. It's just numbers, and we plan on getting you up real soon. So I'm like, whatever. Call my agent. I'm on another moment on his ass for no for no reason. Just like fuck, sick about it, blah blah. He like, yeah, I mean, how do you feel? Woo, woo. I'm like, shit. I mean, what do you mean how I feel? Like, I should have made a team, blah, blah, blah. He's basically telling me, like, no, they still love you, Lamar. Like, no, don't worry. Like, we still got a great opportunity there, and boo, boo. We want to go practice squad, but like they said, they gonna get you up. I mean, obviously, you know there's no guarantees in this, but that's what they're saying. So yeah, boom. Long story short, we end up signing back to practice squad, and then obviously, the first 3 weeks, it's rocky. We got guys on the team right at that point too.
Yeah.
Long story short, but within 3 weeks, they got me up. You know what I'm saying? But like, I remember the first hating bad. Like man, he's like, man, I need to be out there. I need to be out there. I need to be out there. And I remember the first game I was up. Literally, the first game I was up for the first 2 weeks. Imagine just me being on practice squad, still young and just full of itself. Like, man, I should be out there. I should be out there. And it's the NFL though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I should be out there. I should be out there. And I'm saying, it's the first 3 weeks. I'm up there arguing, bro. Literally, that week 3, I watched one of our corners get a concussion, blah blah blah. And I'm sitting there thinking, like in my mind, I'm feeling the numbers. I'm like, okay, we just lost him. I might be up next week. They gotta bring me up. Woo woo. You know what I'm saying? So then, boom. Even next week, I was right. So after that, the next week they tell me like, Lamar, get ready. We're gonna have you up, blah blah. So I'm juiced. I'm like, okay, let's go. But then again, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go down there, run down on kickoff, special team, blah blah blah. First game up, the starter goes out there, hurt himself. First series of the game.
Yo.
And I remember literally like it was yesterday again, standing on the sideline praying that this man got right.
Yeah.
I'm praying literally like Bless, come on. I'm looking at Bless like damn near like nigga, stop being a bitch. Come on, get back in the game. Cause I know like if he don't go back, I gotta go.
Yeah, right.
bro. So imagine this, a nigga just, yeah, I need to be out there. I need to be out there. I need to be out there. And then the moment I get out there, thinking I'm really just making some money, gonna get an easy check. I'm suited up. Okay, I'm feeling good. I'm getting my feet wet. I'm in the league. To first series. Now I gotta go finish the game at corner. And I just find that that's probably one of my most pivotal moments in my career because it's like in that moment I could have went out there and shit the bed,
Yep.
gave him some shit, fucked off, and that could have been the rest of Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like probably a year or two after that, Jackson out the league.
Yeah.
But long story short, I went out there, bro, really scared as shit. You know, scared as shit. But I held my own and I made it look good. And it's just funny because one thing about football, you like the way you feel sometimes, and like even like it never looks as bad or it looks as good as you think. You know what I'm saying? So like imagine me just feeling like I'm out there just surviving. You know what I'm saying? Then going in there and watching tape like, mm, all right. Like, I was out there doing all right. And then, of course, like I got my flowers and stuff like that the following game. Like, Lamar, I love how you came there and competed. And woo, woo. And we can work with this. We can do this. And then I ended up starting like 6, 7 games that year. And like I say, I felt like that's kind of propelled me to probably like year 3, 4. And like that's why right now, like depending on how I go this season go and this year goes, like that's gonna give me 2 more years. Cause it's really all about tape and just shit like that. And like I said, I just need to go out there and put some more good tape out there on some consistent shit so I can finish my career how I want to finish it. But yeah, that was kind of like the story of just like me coming in undrafted and like my rookie year. It was just one of the moments where God was with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was naive and just full of myself, and then I got a moment. I was a little boy, and long story short, I was actually holding on to put good things out there. So that was great.
I love it. Now, for you, as you're with the Falcons today, and just talking a little bit about, handling noise, right? I mean, the Falcons as a team, as an organization, last year there was a lot of noise in regards to, quarterback controversy, right? Hey, you signed Kirk Cousins and then you draft Michael Penix. Why would you do that? And, there's constantly noise
Yeah.
around a team, but yet your job is to show up on, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever night that you play, and say, hey, all this outside noise can be happening, but we've got to come together as 53 people to win a game. So talk a little bit about that over, your career, how you've learned to, kind of block out the outside noise and just be able to focus in on what's most important for the team.
To be honest, like it's really just I mean the biggest thing is just understanding like control, truth, control. You know what I'm saying,
Yep.
and just not try to. Cause me personally, it's all about. I like to believe keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of like where I put my energy, in terms of my day to day, like keep it simple. At the end of the day,
Yep.
like I said, I truly am a big man of faith, and like I do like let go and let God with like
Yep.
a lot of things, in terms of just like shit that I can control in my immediate future or anything like that. Like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like I'm a true believer in that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And in terms of like decisions, it's like quarterbacks and who's get drafted and giving who the money. Like, yes, we kind of do little, little talks, haha, like damn. But a lot of times it's like he deserved it, or you can kind of make sense of why it happened or why they did what they did. Top of like obviously we keep everything in house, but like it was a great plan. And plans don't always go as you plan. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So like it was a great plan. It just didn't go as planned. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like that's very simple to even like put like that's a easy like that's literally what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like of course we expected Kurt to come out there play a couple good years of ball. You know what I'm saying? Because Kurt was never washed. Like Kurt was a good quarterback up until he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
even when I got to Atlanta, I'm sitting there like, what's going on with Kurt? You know what I'm saying? So like, hopefully he can get right. But me just knowing how I view Kurt and how what Kurt have done in this league, like it was a good plan.
Yeah.
I can say that, and at the same time, I also know that's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I believed in that, and but in terms of like had them having to make the switch in terms of Michael Penix and shit like that, like it really comes down to winning, brother. Like
Right.
I just told you, like, in order for motherfuckers to sleep easy, motherfuckers got to win.
Yep.
So when motherfuckers drop 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row, something has to change,
Yep.
regardless of how we feel, and regardless of what decision we made in the off season. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's that serious, and that's just the business, and that's why motherfuckers get cut. That's why motherfuckers get benched. That's why motherfuckers is up and down, because it's always like We got to change it. We can either win with it or we can't. Like once again, keep it simple. We can win with it or we can't.
I love it.
Ain't nothing about no feelings. Ain't nothing about what we owe them. Nothing. Like it's either we can win with it or we can't. And
Yeah.
it's that simple. And like when you kind of break it down and keep it like that, and just try to take your feelings out of it, and just think of about like on some production shit. If it's not producing, we have to change it.
Yep.
That's the league, and that's top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's really just trying to find that roster and that lineup and that best 11 to go out there and give us a chance to win. And even like right now, like regardless of the quarterback controversy, it's really just about a little money. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, like these owners and shit got the money. So as much as you want to sit there and be like, oh, they're fucking dumb, or Atlanta's did this or did that, we're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Niggas got them. We ain't worried about the pay. You know what I'm saying? I think that we're trying to put the best team out there on the field to win. And obviously, like I say, they know what they got in Penix. I believe in Penix, and I believe in what we're gonna do this season. And right now, the message is really like, let's go win this thing in silence. So
Absolutely.
with that being said, we're not. They're talking how they're talking, but talking ways or understanding ways to tell them, oh, I ain't always talking about that, you know, because in my world, like we figuring it out right now, and we gonna be all right, you know. So it's just like in terms, you gotta just understand this noise, just like in terms of like your mind, when you're
Yep.
just thinking all these crazy things of blah 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 blah. This is what if, this what if, like control your mind. You know what I'm saying? Take control of your thoughts. Keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? One
Love it.
step after another. Huh.
I love it. Well, last thing then,
Yeah.
love to hear two of your one college game, whether it was a personal performance or an environment that really stood out to you, and then one pro game, whether it's personal performance or a game that stood out to you, and just some of those highlight moments or memories that as you reflect on college and pros, one game that stood out in each.
One game that stood out in college, like I said, this is just one game. Mind you, I played some good games, some bad games, some decent games. But like early on, like I said, the one game that I always will never forget, just due to just like I said, I guess like the state I was in was
Yeah.
like my freshman year, like literally getting my first start in the bowl game against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like obviously my one bowl game, freshman year, probably my best team I was on. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it's like we out there playing like Alvin Kamara and shit. So
Yeah.
like and Josh Dobbs and Josh Malone's at receivers and like they just they had like a whole bunch of guys that like I've seen and I'm still around in the league. So like just look back on that moment, like that was that Tennessee roster, and then like the DN Barnett, um at the time broke the sack record just that game, and it was just a whole bunch of just pros out there, you can say. And I
Yep.
was young, and obviously, like I say, like the level of ball and like how like that game just was a lot. Because one, I was out there for real, and then two, just on top of just like the level of competition. Like I feel like them boys had a stack roster. That was my one bowl game. That whole little Music City week was dope. Once again, in a place that I ain't never been in terms of Tennessee. So
Uh-huh.
like I just feel like that was just a big moment for me in terms of just getting out there and kind of just breaking the ice. On top of just like when is a better time to do it? Like I get it's my last game before my freshman year ends, and we had a great bowl week. We playing all these great competition, and it was just dope to kind of go out like that. And on top of like I said, that was probably my best Nebraska team I was on. So
Love
the,
it.
the, the older guys and everything like that, like just to be out there with them, you know what I'm saying, knowing that they were probably gonna be going and shit was like dope to me. Other than that, like Jack had his good games and shit, but well, we still working. But in on the league, it would probably like I said, that game I kind of touched on that first week four when I first got out there and like got
Yeah.
to play. That was a big moment for me. Just really just knowing like kind of like how like in that moment like it could have really went left.
Yep.
So I just feel like that was one of them big moments for me in terms of just holding on. Because like you got to think, as a young guy and a rookie, like you're not knowing the magnitude of the situation.
Right. Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like as today, I'm knowing like what it
Yep.
could have been. But like in that moment, you're not really thinking like, brother, if you go out here and we throw you out here in this fire and you bullshit, really like you could say underprepared or less not a lot of experience or anything, regardless, like Lamar, you're undrafted. Regardless, nigga, you're on a losing team. Regardless, you know what I'm saying? We threw you out there because we thought you can hang. And you really never know. Maybe they threw me out there to see me crash and burn. Like you never
Right.
really know. But the fact that I went out there and I held my own and I did what I needed to do, and it allowed me to kind of just gave me life. You know what I'm saying? Like it really gave me life, and like it propelled me into like them other starts and allowed me to get opportunities to get better. Like that shit was just big to me, and I just not me knowing the magnitude of that situation and just the fact that I rose to the occasion. Like I'm proud of me. You know what I'm saying? So like now I'm just on some shit now where it's just like we just want to finish and walk away with something. Like we didn't been through too much to not walk away, you know what I'm saying, with our chin up and our chest out. And on top of just like I didn't get this far just to get this far, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I just pray like, this year moving forward, we can kind of change the course, you know what I'm saying, and make this shit what it's supposed to be.
Well, I have no doubt, my man, and I am excited to continue to watch your journey. And I know we'll be doing this here in 2 years from now, talking about either more with the Falcons or on to the next team and what you do in the NFL. So thanks so much for sharing your journey, and good luck this season.
All right, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you for having me. Great talk.